What's up with my people on this Real Talk Monday? I am Uncle Jack Jack. Hey, I told y'all in the beginning of the month, man, this whole month on Real Talk Monday, man, I'm going to talk about black history. Give y'all a little piece of black history. You feel me? Last week I ain't do it. I think I did a Real Talk Monday, man. That later on that evening, I can't remember what it was on, but I'm back at it, so I'm going to drop some gems on y'all, man. So we're going to talk about black history. I told y'all, man, schools only talk about certain black people, man. They talk about Martin Luther King. They talk about Rosa Parks. They talk about Harriet Tubman. They talk about Frederick Douglass. And they talk about Madam C.J. Walker. You know what I mean? But I told y'all to get to the root of everything, man. If y'all got mamas 65 and up or y'all got big daddies or big mamas that's 90 plus, you know what I'm saying? Talk to them, man, because they know the real. Nothing that you going to find nowhere else or people trying to hide because them big daddies and big mamas that's 90 up, they know because they lived it, because then they mamas lived it, and then they mamas lived it. You know what I'm saying? They great grandmamas or they grandmamas lived it. Slavery was 400 years ago. You feel me? So if you get somebody that's 90 years old and then they parents and then they parents, you got slavery right there. You feel me? And they just pass the information on down time and they can pass it to you. People just don't want to listen to it. You know what I mean? I see a lot of people was mad at this Tyler Perry movie because I hear it's a lot of truth telling in the Tyler Perry movie. Well, guess what? People get mad at the truth, man. So if y'all ain't seen that Tyler Perry movie yet, man, see it. You know what I mean? Like I said, people get mad at the truth because the truth hurts, man. And we don't want to think humans was like that. Brought to my attention, Budamar. He was a black man, came from India. He taught the Chinese Kung Fu. The reason why I brought that up is he was the first person to do martial arts. Not Bruce Lee, not nobody else. Buddha Mara. Look him up. He came from India. He was a black man and he was the person who taught Kung Fu. He invented Kung Fu and he taught it to the Chinese monks. You know what I'm saying? And they adopted it. You know why he taught them? Because they was black. Earlier, thousands of years ago, people from Africa moved to Asia. All right, they migrated to Asia. For whatever reason, they migrated to Asia and they were black. Due to environmental adaptation, facial features start changing and due to lower sunlight, they start getting lighter skin complexion. The reason why I say that is people like, oh, I don't believe that. You ever seen a fish or certain animals that adapt to the environment and they look funky? Like, what the heck? It looked like a centipede, but it could be a caterpillar. That's what happened to people in Africa when they migrated to Asia, China. The adaptation, the environmental adaptation started. Food, resources, their features started changing. You know what I'm saying? And due to lower sunlight, then they start getting lighter skin complexion. But people from China is originally black because they migrated from Africa. If you don't believe me, look it up. Some real stories I said I was gonna give you, man. Back in the day, again, I asked my people. Now, what people don't know about me, my uncles is on here too. You feel me? And we gonna get raw, so don't you know what I mean? And it's coming from mom diggity, and it's coming from my roots. My people, what 75% of my people in my family are white. You know what I'm saying? My granddaddy, they say German, but to us black people, that's white. You know what I'm saying? Grandma, black, Indian. You know what I'm saying? So granddaddy white, grandma Indian. We ain't gonna go through all the racist stuff that they went through growing up because you know that was uncalled for. You feel me? But growing up before they integrated, no, after they integrated, because I was gonna do this last week. After they integrated, they did 4 aptitude tests. You know what I'm saying? You did 1 in the 7th grade, 1 in the 9th, 11 and 12th. And what that showed you was what you was gonna be by the test scores, what you was gonna be when you grew up. You know what I'm saying? What you was capable of be. Black people could score anything. You could score the highest points. And they always said you was gonna be a factory worker, no matter what you scored. My mom was going to school when they integrated schools. My mom was in the 3rd grade. All right. They integrated schools because this is another thing they don't want people to know, and they don't put in the books. So you gotta get it from the sources. You know what I'm saying? You have to get it for the people who lived it because this is stuff that they not putting in the books. The reason why they integrated schools is because when they took the aptitude test, they realized black kids was smarter than the white kids. And it wasn't because it was different teachers. So I asked my people, well, was it black teachers? They were like, nah, black teachers was unheard of back then. It was white teachers. You know what I'm saying? They had two schools. They had Lincoln, that was all black kids, and they had Washington, that was all white kids, but it was all white teachers. And in Lincoln, they taught the bare minimum in the school, the bare minimum. But when you went home, your mamas and daddies taught you everything else that you needed to know. You know what I'm saying? Math and reading was important, so they definitely taught that. Black history was important, so they definitely taught that, because in the white schools, well, even the black schools with the white teachers, they never taught black history. They only taught white history. So when you went home, your mama and daddy taught you math and reading because that was very important to them. And then they taught you your black history because that was very important to them because of the way they grew up. So when you went back to school, you was super smart. So when they was taking these aptitude tests in 7th grade, 9th, 11th, and 12th, the scores came out that, oh, shoot, black kids are smarter than these white kids. So we transformed, we integrated. But when they did the integration of the schools, everybody didn't integrate at the same time because they were still working on the kinks. And they only allowed 2 black kids in each classroom. You couldn't have more than 2 black kids in each classroom. And you couldn't sit up front. My mom used to try to sit up front all the time. Even if you knew the answer, you raised your hand, they wouldn't call on you. They'd call on the white kid that didn't know the answer. It was a lot going on at this time, man. I can go on, but those 2 stories right there that I'm letting you know, that I heard straight out the book. If you don't believe me, ask my Uncle Manuel. He on here. Ask my Uncle Sherman. He on here. I have Mom Diggity talk about it. They on here. I get a Big Mama, a Big Daddy. They on here. That's what I said, man. Our heritage is important, man. The truth hurt people because we don't never want to believe that people was treated like whatever back in the day, but they was, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't know until you know. But I'm here to tell you it's okay not to be okay. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying everybody is bad, but on the last, I think I'm gonna do another one because I missed last week. But on the last Real Talk Monday, I'm gonna give you a little racism that used to happen to Uncle Jack Jack back in the day when I was a little kid running around in the streets. You feel me? But anyway, if y'all decide to go out on this Monday, man, because I know some of y'all alcoholics, remember, make it back home safe to you people. The argument ain't worth your life. And tell those kids Uncle Jack Jack said, what's happening? Man, look up your heritage, man. Talk to your big mama, big daddies, man. You feel me?